All right, so here we are again. The wiring is kind of sitting on the engine. I've sent my computer out to lt1swap.com. A guy named Brendan apparently runs that website and Facebook page, and he removes the vehicle anti-theft system program from the PCMs, the computer basically, of the engine. So I sent it out to him. Hopefully he'll get that back to me soon. And then by the time I'm done wiring, I can plug the computer in and fire this thing up. Well, actually, I have to do the fuel system too. So I guess I'll have to wait a little bit. But anyways, I'm a little more prepared this week than I was last week. And today I am going to start deluming the wiring harness. So I'm basically going to take all the junk off of it so that I can remove a bunch of the wires that are not needed. There's a ton of wires for a electronic transmission, which I don't have. There's a ton of wires for emissions parts. There's basically a bunch of wires for just junk that I don't need. So I now have that pretty well understood, and I'm going to start cutting some tape and removing some of this plastic loom. So, yeah, that's what we're about to do. All right, let's see how it goes. All right, well, I've made a mess. Took probably 15 minutes or so to remove, I would say, 85% of the loom from the wiring. So next, I am going to go up to these computer pins and start pulling out the actual pins that don't matter. And as soon as I pull the pin out, then I'll follow the wire all the way back and get rid of stuff I don't need. So, all right, let's see how that goes. Okay, see if I can figure this out. And get it on camera. That'll be fun part. All right. So, I think that this thing just pops off. Got it. All right, so one broken tab. That's not so bad. Okay, so now we got to figure out where pin 1 is. Oh, look at that. They're labeled. Yeah, if you look up close, they're all labeled. Boy, that makes it convenient. All right, fantastic. Oh, I see. There's a little tab on the end that you got to push down. All right. Same with this side, I'm guessing. Ta-da! All right, so I looked at the wiring diagram and I wrote down all the stuff that I have to keep and remove. At least a sort of a starting point. And I also pulled the aluminum case off of the wiring connector, the PCM connector, because that's what you have to do to get the pins out. You do have to pull the bolt out the center, and to do that you have to remove the little clip that's on the end of the bolt right here. So I just cut it off with a pair of wire cutters. And then I pulled the bolt out, and then I slid the aluminum off, the aluminum cap. And then once you pull this little black cover away, then all you have to do is pull these tabs up and the wires slide right out. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to start with, let's see, pin number 7, which I think is gray, which I think is this one. All right, so let's see how this goes. All right. So yeah, the cool thing is that this is actually numbered on the cap, so you have some idea of what you're looking at here. So this gray one is pin number 7. I apparently don't need that, according to the information that I have found on the internet. So I'm going to pop that out. I'm going to go through and pop out the rest of the ones that I don't need too. By the way, you can see I'm wearing gloves because, again, it's freezing in my garage. I also don't really want to stab myself with this thing. And if I do, the gloves will at least slow it down when I do. Alright, so next one, pin 13. So, if this was 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And it should be orange and black. Perfect. So now, pin 23, which should be black. Number 23. Pin number 25, which should be tan. Pin number 38. Let's see. All right, 56 and 59. One of the good things about actually pulling the pins out is if you do screw it up, you can always just put it back in. And it's not a big deal. So if you do accidentally pull the wrong wire out, at least you didn't cut it off. Because cutting it off would leave you kind of in a mess. Looking good. I'm just going to tie these off for now. So I know to go back and pull them out. And I'm going to take this one apart. Alright, so. Alright, step 1, pull these caps off. So with those caps off, now I'm going to take this little clip off. Whoa! Right, I think I got it. Yep. Ta-da! Okay, so now you can pull the bolt out. Set that aside someplace safe. And we'll pull this off. Oh, the wires are actually zip tied onto this. Not anymore. That's rough. There we go. Ta-da! Okay, so now straighten these out a little bit. Look at this one, all twisted up from the factory. Interesting. And then, if we push these white tabs down, the white connector will come out of the aluminum housing. Like so. All right. And then we're back to where we were before, where we got to slide these black caps off to make a little room for the wires to come out. Don't stab your hand with a pick, because that hurts. Might need to spend a couple of minutes sort of straightening out the wires so this thing will actually slide. Yep, watch your fingers. Don't stab them. That'll hurt. Nice. All right, now this side. It's kind of like running a comb through your hair. I mean, assuming you have hair, which I don't. Because this thing, all the wires have to be perfectly straight, and if they're not, it straightens them out for you as you pull. Nice, check that out. All right, so now, got more wires to remove. So we'll start with number 3, which is the third one right here. Looks like tan. And number 5, which is also tan. All right, I got them all out of that. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slide this black cap back on, and then I'll sort of reassemble these connectors, at least temporarily. All right, you know what? That's too much work. I'm just gonna leave it. Okay, so now I just gotta pull them all out of the harness. How easy is that? I just spent about maybe an hour or so just sort of like cleaning up stuff, removing connectors and whatnot, kind of bundling up things and labeling things. And I ended up with, so far, this box of miscellaneous junk that I don't need. So, in the interest of wrapping up on a good note, I am going to call it quits for today. And hopefully next time, I'll have a starter, I'll have a computer, and maybe I can plug in some more stuff. We'll see. Anyways, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.